Hello everyone, I am Tiffany and I am back to share with you my labor and delivery experience as I promised. So I have been off work since the end of March. The pandemic kicked off and my midwife thought that maybe, just maybe, especially since I work in healthcare, it would be a good idea if I um, were to be at home to lessen my risk of exposure to, this illness that we have going on outside. Yeah, outside. We're stuck in the house. So yeah, I'll say outside. So yeah, I've been at home since the end of March. I delivered baby girl on May the 21st. So I got to the hospital that morning at about 5 in the morning because my midwife and I had already talked about the potential of going ahead and inducing me, which I really didn't want to be induced because I have been induced before and I didn't like the way the process went. But come to find out, I was already 4 centimeters dilated, which I kind of felt like something was going on a few days before I went to the hospital anyways. I kind of knew that delivery was, on the way. So I was already 4 centimeters dilated, which was pretty cool. So she went ahead and she did this thing called stripping my membranes. And I had that done with my 8-year-old and it like really kicked things like into gear. And I just, went into labor like instantly. So we did that and it, did make labor progress. After she did that, I walked around for a little bit, started to get more contractions, more contractions. But for some particular reason, my water never seems to break on its own. Before this delivery, this is my fourth daughter. So before this delivery, my water has never broken on its own ever. So my providers have always taken it upon themselves to break my water. So she was like, okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll do this. And I'm pretty sure that it'll go ahead and, help everything further along. So we broke my water. Probably within an hour, maybe. Things were getting more and more intense. And before I even got to the hospital or anything like that, I said I wanted to make sure that I could do this natural. Out of my four, I've only had one natural, and that was my 8-year-old. And so I decided that, okay, I'm going to do this again. This is my last baby. I'm going to do it because I can do it. It's what my body's made for. And I have been doing my affirmations and trying to get myself together, and prepared for the intensity and everything that was going to come along with the natural delivery. So I underestimated how painful and uncomfortable it was going to be. Um, I wanted to get the epidural, but I was too far dilated to get the epidural. So I ended up having to deliver her natural anyways. So I went ahead, I delivered her natural. I'm so proud of myself. I'm glad that I did. My midwife, was cheering me on. Everybody in there was cheering me on. It was being very, helpful and supportive, which was really great because I really needed it because I was like, oh my gosh, ooh, it was intense. But I did it and I'm so glad that I did do it. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit, and so I'm recovering, or so I think I am, but I'm bleeding, right? So like a little squirt, gushes, here and there. I'm asking the nurse like, okay, is this normal? Am I supposed to be, doing this or not? And so they checked and they, felt like everything was okay. So I'm like, okay, you guys are the experts. I'm gonna, leave it at that. So what else happened? Oh, so she's like, okay, we're going to get up and we're going to try to go to the restroom. So I'm like, okay, I need to probably empty my bladder anyways. I think that's a good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and, do this. So we get up, real slow. I take my time and get to the restroom, sit on the toilet, and I start to use the bathroom, but I never stop. Never stop. Oh, my little baby's upset. Big sister has her, so it's okay. So I never stop. And I'm just like, okay, why am I still, using the restroom? Suddenly I start to feel really lightheaded. I tell the nurse because she went out to go get me some more pads and those little mesh underwear to put on so I, when I got done using the restroom. So I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel really weird. And so I tell her, I'm like, I'm feeling lightheaded. That's all I remember. I'm out. Come to find out, I ended up having a postpartum hemorrhage. I was sitting on the toilet. I thought I was using the restroom. I was not. I was actually bleeding out. When I come to, there are probably like 10 people on each side of me in the bathroom. I'm out. Like, I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? They're asking me questions if I know where I'm at. What just happened? Like, did you deliver the baby? At first I couldn't answer any questions. I remember that, not, being able to really be clear on where I was, or anything like that. And then, I'm out again. I'm out. So then I come back, and they got this little ammonia in my nose. It's the worst smelling thing ever. Like, get it. I hated it. I'm like fighting. And I just remember looking up, and I remember saying to myself, well, I'm not dying today. I can't die. My children, literally, they were flashing in my mind, all their faces, I could see them. And I was like, okay, no, I got to fight my way through this. And then I got to thinking about, was actually reading a documentary, not reading a documentary, reading an article about Black women in childbirth, and how we are dying at a higher rate than any other, race. And postpartum hemorrhage seems to be the number one cause. And so I was like, oh, oh my God, I've got to make it through this. I've got to fight, through this. And they picked me up. I got in the in the hospital bed, and I just felt more blood just coming out, coming out, coming out. I was leaking onto the floor. The team, the team that I had at the hospital, they were an amazing team. When I say they were amazing, they were doing everything in their power. I've never seen so many people. I had IVs everywhere. I had, they were giving me methadone shots, just doing whatever they needed to do to try to, make sure they were asking me questions, just keep trying to keep me there. I did end up having to have a blood transfusion. Scariest thing ever. Scariest thing ever, 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 ever. I did have eclampsia with my oldest daughter. I ended up having seizures, and I thought that, I was going to be gone then, you know what I'm saying? But this was this was really, really scary to me. And I'm so grateful for my team. I'm so grateful to God. I'm just so grateful that I'm still, here, just to be able to share, that story, and, spread awareness that, hey, I did go through the whole postpartum, hemorrhage thing, but I'm still here. And I'm going to, be a voice and advocate, and spread awareness, because it does happen. They say that it's very rare, but it doesn't seem like it's rare. So anyways, what ended up happening was I ended up not being able to pass clots like I was supposed to. And it went downhill from there. But I'm still here. I'm so glad that I'm still here. I'm very grateful. The rest of the recovery, I was really, really weak afterwards. Considering they said I lost 1/3 of the blood in my body. So yeah, I was really weak. I didn't feel like myself, you know, for a little bit. I think it took me like oh, maybe 2 weeks to kind of start feeling a little better. Of course, I had to take iron before, because I have had issues with anemia before, and I also have this trait, or I'm a silent carrier for this thing called alpha thalassemia, which I will do a video on that also, which was really crazy, because I always thought that I had the sickle cell trait, but that's not what it is. But I'll do a video on that and explain that a little bit further. So yeah, it took about 2 weeks for me to actually start feeling like myself. I just, when I got home, I was, in the room with the baby, just, chilling out. Dad was a big help. Big sister has been a big help, and because I was really concerned. When you're a mom, I know you're supposed to recover, but you're a mom and you want to make sure that your other kids are taken care of and the house is taken care of and all that stuff. But for this time, I really did not focus on any of that. I focused on my recovery, because I had went through something that was really traumatic, and I knew that I had to get well, so that I can continue to be here, for my babies. I didn't want to risk, making things worse or anything of that nature. So yeah, I'm here. I'm feeling great. We are, let's see, Thursday will be 6 weeks. Thursday will be 6 weeks already. Wow, time is flying. So yeah, we're coming up on 6 weeks since I delivered. I'm feeling great. I'm slowly, doing things again. Um, yeah. So I just wanted to get on here and share that really quickly with you. I just posted a new blog. It was just going over how we've been managing the first month since we've been home. The stuff that we've been dealing with as far as like breastfeeding, her having gas, me not having any sleep, just basic things like that. So if you go to my website at www.tipsforwellness.com and check that out for me, I'll be so grateful. Also, I am in the process of getting ready to open an online store where I will be selling handmade bath salts that are going to be for pregnant women when they need to, soak their feet and just relax. I'm also in the process of creating a perineum soak. So like for any kind of tears that women have or anything like that, when after delivery, they can soak as well. And I also have created a nipple ointment. Let me tell you, okay, I breastfed the two before this one, and whew, it hurt so bad. It hurts so bad. I know we're having issues with like latching, I think, a little bit, and her, it was just, oh my goodness. I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to breastfeed, but I was able to use some ointment and get better. So I'm gonna be selling that ointment as well. So be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna plan on launching that store at the end of July. So yeah, I'll be back on next Tuesday. I'm gonna talk to you about the alpha thalassemia um, carrier trait that I had, which I just found out when I took baby girl to her 1 month appointment. She has it also. I have it, she has it, and dad is a carrier also. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that and what that's meant for me. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching. Sorry if I was rambling a little bit. I was trying to remember. As far as the experience, I think about it a little bit. It gives me a little bit of anxiety here and there, just thinking about thinking about everything that took place. It was a little traumatic for me, but I'm making it through. I'm doing well. I'm just grateful that I'm still here. But you can catch me next Tuesday. Like I said, I'm going to talk to you about the alpha thalassemia. Check out my website, the blog that I have. Just comment, like, share, subscribe. If you like the video, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. If there's something that you want me to touch on specifically, I will. Until then, I will see you next week. Y'all have a great week. Stay safe.